Hi, football lovers all around the world. Hi to my fellow Gunners lovers. This is another episode of the Arsenal Alchemy. I remain your host, Simply Ike. And I want to ask you, I hope you all had a good weekend this last weekend. I did. Though my team lost, but I did because I watched some other games and they were fun. There were some big games over the weekend, mainly Manchester United versus Chelsea. So there were two big games yesterday. I think the Aston Villa game against Tottenham Hotspurs was a big game as well, and it didn't disappoint. It was a bumper packed game. It was fun all through, and it ended with five goals. Four of those goals went to Tottenham, and one of them went to Aston Villa. Aston Villa opened the scoring before Spurs came back in the second half and had a goal first of a half. Of course, Dominic Solanke scored two of the goals. He is a striker that really needs a goal because he's had the kind of goal drought in the past few weeks. So this was a big game for him, and it was a big game. It was a big fixture because Aston Villa have been running high in the Premier League, particularly in the Champions League. They have been unbeaten. They've won all three of their games, and they stand on top of the league table in the Champions League. So coming into this game, there were two big teams because Aston Villa, over the past couple of years, they have established themselves as one of the big teams in England and one of the hardest teams to beat. So for Tottenham to win that game 4-1, that was kind of a big deal because, Aston Villa is a tough team to crack. They have a good defense and they have an excellent keeper. Remember, he's a World Cup winner, Martinez. He is a wonderful keeper. He's one of the best keepers in the world as we speak. So it was a very good game. I watched that game in particular. It was exciting from start to finish, and Tottenham, kudos to them, they gave a good account of themselves. So the second game of the day was the anticipated game between Manchester United and Chelsea. Remember, Manchester United just fired their coach in Eric Ten Hag. So his deputy, Ruud van Nistelrooy, took over the Rams of the team's affair, at least till the new manager, Ruben Amorim, comes in to take over right after the international break. And, some people say, oh, Manchester United will be too hasty in hiring Ruben Amorim. They could have just stuck with Van Nistelrooy for now, and I see where they're coming from, as a neutral. I see where they're coming from because the past two games that Ruud van Nistelrooy has managed, Manchester United have done very well for themselves. They've given a good account of themselves. So I thought probably they should have given him like a 10 games trial period. If things don't really improve, they could go for another head coach. So, funny they call him a head coach, not a manager. So I'll be happy to know exactly what that means because he's going to be taking over from Ruud van Nistelrooy. So I'm not too sure how they want to structure the club in terms of management. But in the game itself, the game wasn't exactly what I'll call an exciting game. it wasn't very exciting. I think especially in the first half, I think in that first half they were overly too cautious. Both teams, they were not. They were not sending more men forward in terms of offensiveness of the game. I think it came up short in that regard. I know Chelsea hit the bar at one point from a corner kick. It was like a goal mouth scramble, and they hit the bar. And at the end, tail end of the first half, still, Rashford, I think it was, who hit the bar as well for Manchester United. So, but the second half became more exciting. Um, Garnacho was put through on goal, and he was tripped by the goalkeeper, and the the referee rightly called for a penalty. It was checked by the VAR, and it was deemed to be a penalty. It was a penalty. I don't think there's any controversy about that. And Bruno Fernandes duly slotted in. He sent the keeper the wrong way and converted a very good penalty kick. Then I think it was 4 or 5 minutes later, from a set play, I think it was a corner kick, Chelsea equalized. Through Caicedo, it was a bullet of a goal just at the edge of the box. It was about 20 meters away, and it was a very, very good strike. And Onana had no chance. It was very good chance. It was well taken, very precise, good shot, good connection with the ball. Kudos to Caicedo because he did have a very good game. He had a very good game. He has been the form player, the form holding player in the Premier League this season at the moment. I will say him and Gravenberch of Liverpool are the best two holding midfielders at the moment. Caicedo gave a good account of himself. He did very well. So after the goal, it became 1-1, and the controversy came when Lisandro Martinez tackled Cole Palmer, and he came with excessive force with his studs up, and he made contact with Palmer's right knee. It went to VAR, and they said there wasn't enough in it to give a red card. So this is our topic for the day. What then is a red card? I've seen the slightest, the simplest, the softest of contacts made by players, and the referee just deems it a red card, and they just give a red card. If that wasn't a red card, in my opinion, it was a blatant red. You are not going to see a bigger red card, a more blatant red card than that. I am not saying this because I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm saying this because the officials need to have a good control of the game. All this talking points about refereeing decisions in the Premier League every week there's something, one, two, three, multiple controversies every week. They have to stop. Someone told me that they're probably doing this on purpose because some of these decisions, a lot of these decisions, the common sense needs to be applied in some of them. Some of them are just wrong. And you wonder why officials that have trained, that have gone through courses to learn the game, to officiate the game, to control the game, you wonder why these decisions are made by this referees. Now, it's not just the referees on the pitch. It's not just the linesmen on the pitch. You have a VAR team. You have people that are completely isolated from the game, from the pitch, from the stand. All they do is watch the game. How can they still get it wrong? All they do is watch the game. Um, they are not pressured by time. They they take as much time as they want to look at incidents and make the right decisions. Some of those decisions are shocking. Some of those decisions are wrong. You look at these decisions and you wonder if there is a hidden agenda. You look at the two red cards Arsenal has had for kicking the balls away. And you wonder, shouldn't common sense apply here? Why are you ruining games? Why are you giving undue advantage to the other teams? You look at these things and you question the officiating of these referees. Almost every week, the head of the PGMOL, Howard Webb, comes on TV to defend this decision. These decisions, rather. This had never happened 3, 4, 5 years back since we were, much further than that. We never see things like this. And there was no VAR. The controversies were even less. Now there are VARs there's every week because we expect them to get it right. We expect them not to have any excuse to get it right. How is that tackle not a red card? Even with the naked eye, without watching the replay, without watching the slow-mos, you look at it and you said, oh, he's gone. That is a red card. Why is it the referees don't have the audacity to give the right decisions sometimes? Could it be that these referees secretly support some of these teams and they bring their secret support to their decision making on the pitch? Could it be? That tackle has been the subject of discussion. It has been the subject of discussion this week already. Every news channel, every sports channel, they're talking about it. Is it a red? Is it a yellow? The major consensus, it's a red. It's a red. Look, I've been watching football for a long time. That is a red. Yes, Man United were done by refereeing decisions last weekend when a penalty was awarded against them for the softest of fouls. And this ultimately led to the sacking of Erik ten Hag. Yes, decisions have gone against every team, but, we are trying to advocate for fairness in refereeing decisions. Whether it went against you last week, if you do something wrong this week that requires a big decisions, if it goes against you and everybody watches the replay and agrees, look, it's a red card, then there is it doesn't matter what happened last week. The correct decisions have to be made on the pitch. Now, this, I know it was very late on in the game, but for the neutrals watching it, it's not good. It's not a good watching. How could you give a yellow for that? If that thing had connected well, we would be saying a different thing today. We will be saying, oh, Cole Palmer is out for the season. Cole Palmer will need surgery on his knee. Referees have to protect the bigger players that are targeted by defenders, that are targeted by players. They get kicked, they get, heckled, We see that a lot with Bukayo Saka. In fact, you have to tackle Saka like 4 or 5 times. Kick him before the referee gives a yellow. So what we're talking about today is, was that a red or not? Join me in the chat room. You can send texts. You can, participate in this topic. Do you think it's a red? The only thing we don't condone is, of course, cursing and abusing, using abusive words, we don't do that. We want everybody to behave gentlemanly, ladylike. We want everybody to behave in a decent way. So join me there and let's discuss this. I'll be there with you to talk about this, to um, engage with you, chat with you, and you tell me why it's not a red. So that will be all for now. I remain your host, Simply Ike, and join me for another episode coming tomorrow. I'll let you know on the Arsenal Alchemy. Do have a great week.